Welcome back to another episode of the Who You Know Show podcast, where what you know is important, but who you know can make all the difference in your business, career, relationships, and life. My name is Trevor Houston, and on this show, you'll learn the strategy, grit, and mindset it takes to overcome obstacles so you can level up in your career, recover your cash flow, and live the life of purpose that God intended for you. Don't forget to look at the mic drop moments time-stamped in the show notes below. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure to pay it forward, subscribe, and leave an honest review so we can improve. Thanks for listening. My name is Trevor Houston, and please enjoy this episode of the Who You Know Show.
Carla, how long have you been in HR recruiting and talent acquisition?
I have been doing this for over 20 years.
Oh.
I leave it at 20, or else I have to become like the job father.
The job father. Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh, Lord.
You don't want to be the job mama?
I don't want to be
No.
the job mom.
I don't know.
That doesn't be terrible.
For the audience that maybe doesn't know about Slalom, right? Tell us a little
Yes.
bit about the company.
Slalom is actually a strategic consulting company that actually focuses on both technology side, but also business consulting. Yes.
What are like the biggest mistakes that you're seeing right now that job seekers are doing? Anything particular that they keep doing repetitively?
They forget that they need to network right now.
Really?
Really?
Not my network.
Say that
Yeah.
again.
No, not these job seekers.
No, I mean, they feel like because the market isn't active and that there's not as many opportunities, that they don't need to work their network the same way as when there's tons of jobs that are open.
Mm.
And so they become complacent and they need to be working the network as much, if not more.
Exactly.
right now.
Okay, so that reminds me of a story, and I'm going to butcher this. So if anybody that's heard this story before, just bear with me. The guy goes to a foreign country, and he's a shoe salesman,
Mhm.
right? And two people do, right? The first one goes, and nobody's wearing any shoes, so he comes back, and he reports. He's like, man, nobody wears shoes over there. Like, we can't sell it. Like, nobody wears shoes. The second guy comes back and reports, oh my gosh, we need to move over there. We need to build a factory. Like, nobody's wearing shoes. It's the biggest opportunity, right? Everybody needs shoes.
Right.
Right. So like, it's a perception. So right now, thinking about, oh, these companies aren't hiring and things like that. It's
Right.
the same thing. It's all about mindset. Either the glass is half empty or half full. We were talking about that earlier.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Well, and as a recruiter right now, I am building my pipeline. I'm
Right.
talking with a ton of candidates. I'm doing everything I can to build my network and talk to as many candidates as I can to be able to get to know people and to be able to fill my buckets, as I like to call them.
So the ultimate goal would be like to have these people essentially signed in advance. Can companies do that or no?
Some can. Some can not this far in advance. Most would.
Yeah, that's a little far.
Yeah.
But like
Far
maybe a
advanced.
couple months. What about a couple months?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
Like, hey, we're gonna hire you, but we can't hire you till like October.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the other key thing that you've said, which, this you guys really need to pay attention to, because networking is an ongoing thing and there is lead time, right?
Mhm.
So it's not like you can just jump in, right?
Right.
And just hit the ground running. Doesn't work that way. It's relationships,
It
Foster.
is.
Relationships. And it's about building those relationships, and that takes time. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's probably 6 months lead time. So if you're 6 months out from those positions, like, people need to start building that relationship with you right now.
Absolutely.
And it's not like, guys, it's not like the market is not moving. We had 13 job landings last week. Just saying.
Well, and the unfortunates are that you have some companies like American that just did a major layoff
Right.
of their management staff, and so I've been doing a lot of work with those people in terms of helping them with resumes and trying to help them, because some of these people haven't been at American for 20 plus years,
Yeah.
and so they haven't
Yeah.
had to think about, what do I do? So you guys should be seeing a lot of them.
That's what we see
Uh-huh.
every day. Send them all over here.
Yep.
Look, we know how to handle that.
I've got a lady that's been on her job for 41 years. She just got laid off 2 months ago.
How 41?
41 years.
Cool.
How are you going to lay off somebody who's been at your company for 41 years?
I will
First
tell
and
you.
foremost.
Shame
Yeah,
on
shame on
I
You
that.
will
just
tell you.
retire them.
Yeah.
You give them a
I
package
mean-
and
But I will tell you this, I had a woman who was in tears, and it's very, I mean, my heart was broken for her. And I just say Elizabeth Kubler-Ross had it right. Just go through your 7 stages of grief, and it's the same for job loss as it is for, losing someone that you loved, because when you've been at a job for that long, this is where some of these people have not done the networking because it's something that they just haven't had to do. It's something that they're out of practice in. It's you guys being able to teach them again how to work their LinkedIn. How do you update your LinkedIn? Because they're the profiles that just say, here's my last job, and it's the job title.
Well, it's constantly
With no
evolving and
picture.
changing too. And that's the thing about it. Like just yesterday, LinkedIn did an update. Okay. They do it like almost once a week.
So you're getting people that are coming maybe out of a corporate environment that are experts in and of their own rights.
Mhm.
And they're coming in now as a consultant role
Mhm.
for Slalom to other companies. Is that primarily the folks that you hire or you're looking to hire? Or where are you getting your people from?
A lot of them we're getting from Big Four.
Big Four. Okay.
Just because they've actually been in a consulting position or another consulting firm. Then we actually have some who are practitioners who've actually gone in back. They've been in consulting. They went into a practitioner role, and then they're looking to get back into consulting.
Okay.
They just wanted to get off the road.
Right.
Was mainly the big thing.
You know
Because
what that sounds like to me? That sounds like people that have had experience. We always say this flippant statement. Oh, they're just trying to hire the young ones and the millennials get all the jobs. What she just said includes years of experience, expertise, guys, years in a certain thing.
Well, and that's,
No.
I think what I was
Right.
driving at, the point being that there's a lot of people who they kind of stagnate. They go through the stages of grief. They are identified with their
Right.
job title or position because we associate ourselves, right, our identity so much with our work.
Sure.
But there's tremendous opportunity there. And that's why I asked, because you probably get people who they never anticipated maybe going into a consultant role.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to those people every single day, and they'll say, I really want to be a consultant. And if I feel like they can move into a consulting role, I'll tell them. And I'm also that recruiter who, if I feel like they can't make that transition, I'll tell them that too. And then I'll tell them, how can I help you in your job search? I have over 15,000 people in my LinkedIn.
Yeah.
How can I help you?
I love that we're bringing that up because that leads me to my next question.
Yes.
All right. You said they need help with networking.
Yes.
Okay. That's the biggest mistake or the thing that they have the challenge with. So on your LinkedIn, you do have a big following. Are you getting bombarded on LinkedIn by job seekers?
Yes.
And what are they doing? Like, what's the approach like?
It's a hit and a miss. Some actually will approach me saying, I met you at XYZ, would
Okay.
love to be able to connect with you.
Okay.
Or
Like it.
so there's that, which is a great approach. There's some that actually will say, would love to be able to connect, would love to get some advice on X, Y, or Z, and can be very specific. Others just,
Connect.
Just hit
Yep.
the button.
and I'm like, okay, well, where are you in the world? Do I have any office in this area of the country? Yes, no, maybe. And that's my biggest question is, okay, why would you connect
What are you
with
looking
me?
for? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I have an office in that area of the world, I'll accept it. If I don't have an office in that area of the world, I don't know why I would connect with you.
Yeah, guys,
Fair.
it's all
Yeah.
about time, right? Like time is the one constant that we all have, the one thing that we can't get any more of. Okay. And so she's getting all these people bombarding her on LinkedIn, and it's a matter of, okay, I know she wants to help. She's got a spirit heart, but where is she going to spend her time? She can't necessarily go through every single person, 15,000 people. And that's your connection base. I know you have more than that are trying to connect with you. So she's getting tons. She's getting bombarded. So guys, this is what I teach in the summit. Recruiters, talent acquisition, these folks, they get bombarded on LinkedIn. And it can almost feel spammy on their end.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have a good approach.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do it in the right way, right?
And I if somebody asks me to help them, I'm happy to help them. I mean, it's like I said, if
Right.
I'm talking with somebody who isn't a fit for a job that I have, how can I help you? I mean,
Absolutely.
I'll network them into whatever other company that there is.
How has that changed, like the connections, people that are coming into your pipeline? Because you said you're building some of that, so you're probably fairly active since February, March, since the shutdown, the layoffs. Have you seen an uptick? And
It has, absolutely.
Okay.
And I mean, I've done a number of different events, speaking, and I've done some for vets, et cetera. And so I've done a lot of different types of things trying to help people who have been downsized. And so I get all of those people that are reaching out. And so it's, okay, well, how can I help you? And how can I help you network?
sure,
And so it's whether it be helping them with their resume, helping them then after we get their resume done into some better place, because sometimes it can't be perfected.
right,
We just can't get it to perfection because it has to still be them. And it has to be theirs and they have to own it and feel comfortable with it. And then it's, okay, well, now what company? What company are you interested in? And if like what they talk about is South Lake Focus Group. What are your top companies? Okay, what are those? If you don't see an opportunity that's at that company, fine. Who do you know that could be at that company? Let's go through that. If you don't know them, do I know somebody who could be at one of those companies? Okay, so let's start going through that. And I'm happy to be an open networker for those companies. And for
I
those
love
people.
that. I love that. I mean, see, going back to building the relationship, right? Like taking the time, doesn't take a lot of time, but just some time, right? To build the relationship, to network with you. And that's what networking is about, right? To build the relationship with people that you don't know or be referred to somebody that you don't know and build the relationship. So you're very involved with a lot of the associations, right? I mean, and on your LinkedIn, right? You've got them on your LinkedIn. So you know tons of people that you can refer people to.
Well, and I try to do that. I mean, that's how I got my job. You know, I mean, just try to, you try to do things, you know, when you've been downsized, people do that for you. You try to give back at the same time. You know, when I was going into Slalom, I mean, I reached out to one of my old bosses from Cincinnati who happens to work for Slalom out in San Francisco. And so it's just a very small world. And so, but then it was like, okay, well, let me see what I can do from that side and be able to utilize my network. But at the same time, applied through LinkedIn and then found the recruiter and then sent the recruiter a direct email. And so it was just try every avenue that you can to be able to network yourself.
Thanks for listening to the Who You Know Show podcast. My name is Trevor Houston, and if you've enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing wherever you listen and leave us a positive review to help us keep the mics on in the studio. Until next week, that's the show. It's all about who you know.